Indeed it has. Those laser pointers? They're probably guns. This house? Built it myself? Wait a minute. Didn't know you were a carpenter. This is a lot like Rambo 3. I know that I referenced Rambo 3 in my Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake playthrough, but that really seems like Rambo 3. I know my Rambo 3. It's one of the best movies ever. So... this is Metal Gear Solid for the Game Boy Color, otherwise known as Metal Gear Ghost Babel, whatever. And it is sort of like an alternate history Metal Gear Solid. It's not canonical, but it shares a lot of similarities with that game. Like the bosses, though different, are similar in their archetypes or their motivations or their boss patterns or all the above. But yeah, as I said, it's not canonical, so there will be characters you've never met before and never meet again in a Metal Gear game. I think it's the best portable Metal Gear game, personally. What other ones are there? Portable Ops? Pfft, crap. Peace Walker? Nah. Acid was pretty good. Metal Gear Acid was pretty good, but not as good as this. This plays a lot like the old school Metal Gear 1 and 2. Although there is some similarity to Metal Gear Solid as well. You can push up against a wall, that sort of thing. There's some pretty cool concept art for this game. Hard to find, but there was a Metal Gear Ghost Babel strategy guide released in Japan, and there's a lot of concept art in that. I wish I could track down a book of that, because it'd just be neat to have. The Metal Gear design is really cool as well. I mean, you can't tell from the silhouette, but so this takes place in Africa. You have to infiltrate the fortress Gallowade, which sounds really familiar to me. Is that the location in Metal Gear 1 or 2? I'm not sure. I think they say something about Gallowade. I remember in Metal Gear Solid 2, the weird cracked out Colonel Campbell says something about Gallowade. Christ. Gendra. So that's where we're going. Fuck. Country shaped like a dog face, like a side profile or something. Is that a real... I'm gonna make myself look like an idiot by asking if that's a real country and if it's really shaped like a dog head, but I gotta know. This is pretty well thought out for a Game Boy game. This is a lot of dialogue. This is before the title card, so like we haven't even got to the main menu. And that looks pretty good as art as well. General Augustine, what was the other? Augustine something. Operate out of a virtually impregnable fortress. Gallowade. In the mountains. There ain't nothing that Solid Snake can't impregnate. Besides a woman, because he has no wiener. But other than that, I don't know if he actually has no junk. I'm not sure. I mean, he's a clone, right? At the very least, he can't reproduce. But you would think clones just don't have junk. I mean, why would they need it? What are they gonna do with it? Maybe Liquid, that's why he was so mad. He didn't have any junk. Snake had 2. Oh, you got all the dominant genes. Like a penis. Yeah, this is just like Rambo 3. He said, we need the legend. And he says, don't call me that. I know all the names for a killer. And that's one of them. I like that. That is very similar. Of course, in Rambo, he was just like, you're a killing machine. Do you ever hear about the sculptor, John? Why is the Colonel an asshole in both that and this? Look at this. This guy's an ass. He's pressuring. He's like, leave me alone. I'm wrapped in a blanket in Alaska, sipping on some hot cocoa. It's quiet. My life is good. I built my own house. Leave me the fuck alone. Even if I tell you that the fortress, Gallowade, GLF's home base, was once called Outer Heaven. Can't be. The place where you went to war 7 years ago, destroyed Metal Gear, and became the legend. So is this the place that I went to, or is it just the same name? I take it it's just the same name. The fact is, there's Metal Gear in Outer Heaven. You believe in coincidence? I believe in conspiracy. For real? I don't know. How do I know you just didn't make that up, Colonel? You can't trust colonels. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. End it once and for all. Jesus, how many times are you going to tell Snake this? Wow. Your mission is to infiltrate the fortress Gallowade. Rescue the hostages and neutralize Metal Gear before its assembly is complete. Sounds familiar. Steve Gardner. NSA is in charge. So in this history, in this weird alternate timeline, there's no Meryl or Otacon. That's actually really refreshing to me, like, because everything got so complicated when they came into the picture, you know? Or maybe if Snake's relationship with Otacon and Meryl would have ended in Metal Gear Solid 1, and then in Metal Gear Solid 2 they started a whole new bunch of characters. That would have been great. Nothing wrong with Metal Gear Solid 2, just, you know. Clearly the series spiraled out of control. And by 4, I was just like really pissed off at the way Kojima wrapped up everything. Ugh. We'll get to that game. Oh, Mei Ling. Awfully young. See, he comments like he doesn't know her, so this is like just Metal Gear Solid has not happened. She developed the new radar. Zodaton radar. And it is kind of refreshing when they're not talking about nanomachines all the time. Like, that's the answer for everything. Nanomachines. Seems like Metal Gear Solid 2, all they did was just speak of nanomachines. Even more so in 4. Brian McBride. CIA, huh? He looks like a punk. He effectively planned this. Great. He has expert knowledge of Gindren affairs. Ask him about the mission, GLF, or Gindren environment if you need to. I don't. Thank you. 14152. Ronard Lensenbrink, alias Weasel, a mercenary. He looks like he's up to no good. Yeah, he's a weasel. Burn. But he's good. A good weasel. Got a big old scar on his face or something. I liked Snake before he became like an icon. You know? I feel like the Metal Gear games are not relying on Snake. They just can't get past him. They just have to keep... You have to keep playing Snake. Right? They tried Raiden out and people got really pissy about it. But... he's honestly less imperative to the game than, say, Sam Fisher is. You know, when the new Splinter Cell came out with a different Sam Fisher, wasn't Michael Ironside, that pissed me off, right? But the whole Kiefer thing, that didn't piss me off. I don't really care. Certainly Kiefer's performance seems sort of dialed in on that game. Like, it just sounds like Kiefer, right? It doesn't sound like Snake. I will say David Hayter is much better. But if they bring David Hayter back for the reprisal of the solid Snake role, you know, since that was Big Boss that Kiefer was playing, then it might be interesting. We'll see. But yeah, I think that Sam Fisher is a better stealth character. I know it's kind of crazy, but he sort of had his like descent into madness. And they just got rid of Michael Ironside because I guess Michael Ironside descended into his own madness in actual life. Became a unruly drunk fellow. Galloway. Yeah, but Metal Gear Solid 1, Snake was really cool because like he was nothing to me. He was just like a cool blank slate. But then he got all questiony about everything. And there we go, Metal Gear Solid. That's the title. So it's cool that you can do VR. I've already done a couple levels just to test out video, but I'll show you one. Looks just like the VR from MGS1. It's got that sweet Metal Gear 1 song. The guards are a little bit stupider in this than they were in PlayStation games. But they are smarter than Metal Gear 1, that's for sure. So Metal Gear 1 and 2, they seem slightly smarter than those. They have more peripheral vision. Though they're still pretty dumb, like they have a really limited range, you know. Let's get this going. Metal Gear. Parachuting into a jungle. Seems familiar. Well, you know, it's familiar for the NES version anyways. It's not like the good MSX version. This is Snake, Colonel. Can you hear me? I can't do a Snake voice. Halo, huh? High altitude, low opening. Nothing like skydiving at dawn. 3 kilometers. So I'm not going to be going through every codec conversation. Like, I'll do the mainline ones that you have to answer. But I think more of the joy of this game is that it plays like the old school MSX games. It's just fun to play. It's very gamey, you know? And that's what you should enjoy about it. Not really the codec conversations that, I don't know, you don't need to have with those characters that mean nothing. Like, I'm sure if Weasel wants to contact me or whatever, he will, so. Your mission is to infiltrate Gallowade. You've said this how many times? Work with Delta Force to rescue the researchers and destroy Metal Gear. So this is not a solo mission. Because I'm working with Delta Force. Weapons and equipment, OSP. Kind of bummed out that I lost my twin snakes. Like, I don't know where it went. I think I left it in Texas when I moved out of there. Ex-girlfriend probably sold it or gave it to her small niece or something, and it's ruined. Oh, I'm so mad now. Twin Snakes got a little ridiculous, though. The cutscenes were like, he was doing like double backflips. Okay, let's doing like double backflips off of missiles shot from a helicopter. You know, a little ridiculous. Still fun because it had the first-person mode. So the first-person mode broke the game, made it really easy. Okay, so start crawls. I guess it makes sense. Since there's only 2 buttons, B. Oh, this is A. Sorry. The buttons, you know, B, A, B, whatever. And the other one seems to do nothing right now. Select. Okay, so that's how they do it. If you hit left or right, you get to cycle through weapons. Up and down cycles through items. Fogger. A device that emits smoke. Sure that's not a cigarette? Yeah, it looks like he's holding a cigarette. I don't know, maybe it's just a Nintendo thing. They kind of call it a cigarette. And then start goes to codec. You know what that's like. Okay. So, the way to play these games is to use the map and to treat it like Pac-Man, I guess. Like, you know, like you have to keep them a certain distance away from you. And if you do that, you'll be pretty successful. They have almost no peripheral vision. That's what I'm saying now, so that's good. Shit. Gotta press up against this bushy wall. Grab that. Ooh, it's a gun. Not even concerned with using it at this moment. I just want to beat that guy up. Oh god, I got stuck on the wall. You can run diagonally, which is kind of cool. Three punches knocks him out. See, so I'm kind of playing with the radar. Just kind of looking at the radar, figure out where I should be. Oh man, that was close. Fuck. Am I gonna die? That's just mud. Holding this cigarette, running through the mud. Is that it? Fuck yeah! Ooh, look at that, I'm good. I'm pretty good. You could say I'm good. Oh shit. A title card. Yeah.